Chairman Stanger.
All right, same for the vice chair.
Raymond's the vice.
While you were gone, you got elected vice chair.
Okay.
Don't say it, you don't
See what
come,
happens
you
when you look up.
don't show up.
That
Good job. On the superintendent's report, the first thing in there for is an engagement letter. The letter talks about the federal single audit. What that is about was, since the federal government was on shutdown, then when the auditors come, they usually do your regular books and your federal at the same time. Well, since the shutdown occurred with federal government, they didn't have all the reports, so they're going to do two separate audits. They're going to do regular financial audit, and then they'll come back again and do federal audit later on. So that was just the letter explaining that one. And then the next paper in there, y'all got the email from the auditors on the fraud letter. There's one attached to that. I have another one here if y'all don't have it. But if I could get those from you before you leave tonight, then we can give those to the auditors tomorrow. And then the next paper is just, it's a letter to, from the Alabama FFA Association, and it was a commendation for Woodland High School FFA chapter, where they competed in the National Prepared Public Speaking Leadership Development event, and having Alex Johnson represent Alabama in the National Agri-Science Fair Finals in Social Systems Division 5. She also served as Alabama FFA president her senior year, and she graduated last year. And this is just a commendation letter from the state FFA, and we were proud to have that. I would like to offer for the board, and a lot of the board may not know, but one of our longtime coaches, administrators, and friends is not doing well, so I just like to ask y'all to keep Coach Arbor in your prayers. Tim, Margie, Cindy, myself all know Coach Arbor really well, and it's a sad time. And that's probably it for the superintendent's report. Do y'all have any questions for me? No. The next item, Ms. Braden is going to talk to us a little bit about our report card, and you have her, you have what she has in your packet that she's going to have up here.
Yeah, we're going to start with the PowerPoint there. On your agenda, it says I'm going to discuss testing results. Well, we're going to talk really quickly about the state report card, and testing results are part of that, but it encompasses much more. Some of you may have seen our social media post that we Produced the state report card, our initial score was a 75 and it was a C. So we are making gains and we're growing and we are very proud of that. So we're going to look a little bit at each of how this is made up and some of the things at each school. Percent of the total score. Academic growth is 25%, graduation rate is 30%, college and career readiness is 10%, chronic absenteeism is 10% of the total score, and progress in EL proficiency is 5% of the total score. And on that you can see what the district scored, our percentage of the 20%, 25%, etc. in that. For schools without a grade 12, they only have 3 components of our state report card that gives them their score. Academic achievement is 40%, academic growth is 45%, and chronic absenteeism is 15%. And it's probably good for you to know that chronic absenteeism are students, number of students with 18 or more absences in a school year, not just unexcused absences, 18 or more absences. So it's very important for our kids to come to school for many reasons, but it's also a grade that we receive. So, you know, that's one of our reasons for really encouraging school attendance. And they miss so much when they're not here. Also, I want to point out to you that I'm not going to go over this handout, but I put it in your packet or asked Mr. Jacobs too. This is a worksheet that was shared with me by my ARI regional representative, and this is a worksheet. I did not create this, but it's how one district breaks down how K through 5 schools get their score and how they work on that with teachers. It has some good definitions in there that you may want to look at in your spare time just to become familiar with some more of these definitions. Here is a comparison for the past couple of years with, in the State Department, the total state, Alabama State report card score is the top line. All Randolph County schools, so our district report card score is the second line, and then you can see the individual schools underneath those, and you can see that where there has been growth and where there are areas for improvement. But we're going to look at each individual school also. So for the district, I broke down everything into celebrations or areas for focus. Celebrations for the district. Our academic growth score was 96.88. That's out of 100. So that's very good. Graduation rate, that's 89.47. That's a combination from our 3 high schools. That's almost an A. We want it to be an A. We want it to be a high A, and we're working on that. College and career readiness, our score is 88.16. College and career readiness is now a graduation requirement starting in 2026 for students who enter the 9th grade for the first time or entered the 9th grade for the first time in 2022-23. Some things that we need to focus on: academic achievement, but that's always a priority, and chronic absenteeism. Randolph County High School, they have some things to celebrate. If you can see under their celebrations, academic growth, graduation rate, and their CCR rating, they are almost A's. All of those scores have increased from the previous year, all of them. And academic achievement, even though it's an area of focus, it increased more than a point from the previous year. And chronic absenteeism has decreased. So they are moving in the right direction. Even though some of the numbers may not be what they want them to be today, they're moving in the right direction, and we're proud of that. And their total score increased 2 points this year. Rock Mills Junior High School, they have an academic growth score of 98.02, which is excellent, and they have the lowest chronic absenteeism in the district with this score of 2.65. Again, academic achievement is an area of focus, but that's an area of focus in every single school because we want our students to achieve better and better every year. And Rock Mills is a full support school for ARI in reading, and they're a limited support school in math. So we are getting extra help and encouragement from our State Department partners. Wadley High School, I want you to look over there. They have A's on, in academic growth, graduation rate, and college and career readiness. Their total score also came up this year. Their chronic absenteeism is low, with 5.17 as their score. Again, for an area of focus is academic achievement. They are a limited support school in reading, but they are a full support school in math. Y'all, look at this. If you've not paid attention to this, you need to pay attention to this. Wedowee Elementary School has an academic growth score of 100, but their academic achievement score was 79.25. In a recent article I read, they were pointed out as having a low score. Somebody just pulled out chronic absenteeism and wanted to report on that, and that's what they reported on. Wedowee Elementary School is one of the top 8 most improved schools in the state of Alabama. They jumped by 15 points or higher. They went from a 66 to an 89. Now, this is fabulous. When I called the principal and told her, she was so excited. I mean, these folks have really worked hard for that. But again, this is a school that does not have a grade 12. So they only have 3 components that make up their report card score. So if they have 1 year of one of those high percentages, like academic growth or academic achievement going down, so they have a group that has a bad test score, that's going to really affect their report card score. They only have 2 grades that take the ACAP, there's a practice ACAP, and then that 3rd grade, and it's based on growth. So we're, this is outstanding for them. So this is to be commended. And they are a limited support school, and they are supported with a math coach from OMI. Wedowee Middle School, they also have an academic growth score of 100, and their chronic absenteeism is low at 8.37. Areas for focus for them are academic achievement and as well as progress in EL proficiency. And they are an OMI or Office of Math Improvement Limited Support School. Woodland Elementary, this is something else we really need to pay attention to. It's something to be proud of here as well. They also have an academic growth score of 100. Academic achievement of 80.31, but they have an A. They are the school in the district that has a report card grade of a 90, and that's fabulous. If you'll notice here, I put academic achievement was an area of celebration, but it's also an area of focus because we want it to be an A. Even though it's high, we want it to go higher, but it's still fantastic. We want to work on our absenteeism. This is their first year with a math coach, and they're doing amazing things. We did some walkthroughs there the other day, and they are a limited support school with ARI. Woodland High School, they have the highest district graduation rate for 2024-25 of 93.18. They almost have an A in all of areas of their celebrations. And again, just like most schools in our district, we want to focus on academic achievement, and we have a plan for that here. Talked to Mr. Nelson today, and chronic absenteeism is also a goal for us to work on. In case you want to do a little digging for yourselves, this URL, you can go here and you can look up any school. You can look up any district in the state of Alabama, and you can even compare and contrast between them and look at all. It really pulls up in a nice, easy to read graph. So if you're interested in that, you can go there and do some digging. And if you have some questions after you've done that, or after tonight, after you've taken some time to look at what I've given you, then there's my information, but y'all all know that anyway, and you can let me know. Any questions? I told you it'd be quick.
Thank you. Appreciate all the work you do for the curriculum and all too. When I move on to number 9, back in October, we gave y'all some new policies that were from the policy pipeline that had sat on the table for a month. So I'd like to recommend to approve the proposed changes to the Randolph County Board of Education Policy Manual for the 2025-6 school year based on the AASB policy pipeline that was submitted on October 16, 2025.
We've heard the recommendation of the superintendent for the policy changes. Do I have a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the changes to the Randolph County Board of Education Policy Manual for the 25-26 school year. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sound. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Number 10, I'd like to recommend to approve the contract with Criterion K-12 Consulting LLC to provide Alabama Safe State asbestos management planning and inspection services to be approved as set forth in the attached contract. Criterion came in and helped redo go through all of our schools and identify asbestos in a few years, but then every 3 years it has to be completely updated. So we always want to use the same bunch. They know our schools very well. I can call Mr. Story on the phone and ask him about any individual building, and he has it on his phone or his tablet. He can answer anything at any time.
We've heard the recommendation to approve the Criterion K-12 Consulting Contract for asbestos management. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the contract with Criterion K-12 Consulting. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sound. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Number 11, I recommend to surplus 2 lawnmowers from the 2003-2004 capital asset sheet from Wadley High School. When we got our capital asset sheet, they were still on there and needed to just be removed.
We've heard the recommendation of the superintendent to surplus the 2 lawnmowers. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the surplus of the 2 lawnmowers. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sound. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Number 12, I'd like to recommend to approve the following out-of-state field trip for approximately 26 RCHS students to Atlanta, Georgia for iFly STEM field trip on January 21st, 2026 with Katie Dye and Hannah Womack as chaperones, and that's student paid.
We've heard the recommendation for the out-of-state field trip. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Motion to approve.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the out-of-state field trip. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sound. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Number 13, I'd like to recommend to approve the personnel action sheet.
All right. We've heard the we've heard the recommendation of the superintendent. Is there a motion to approve the personnel action sheet?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the personnel action sheet. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sound. Ayes have it, motion carries. With that being no further business, we are adjourned.